shenanigan of the Contender Qualifier, brought to you by Rod Price at Prime, sponsoring tonight's four-way Contender Qualifier. Here we go, round number one. The voice, Michael Chavello, the hammer, Mark Castanini with your ringside from the sold-out Chandler Arena in Brisbane. Third man in centre ring, Mark Pease. This is what Warren Elson wants to do. It's his specialty. Get in with those long limbs, lock up Greg Foley, work the knees and try and end it with a slicing elbow. Foley, meanwhile, is going to try and use those hands that he once used to drop JW.
Well, that flash knockout.
Down.
Knocked down, certainly. And whether he's going to have the luck with Wazza, it would be a good tactic for Foley to be staying on the outside of the clinch. In turn, you'll see Warren Elson with the red trim just stalking forward and looking to grab up and knee. Very tall man for this weight division is Warren Elson. Stands about 6'2", 6'3". So in the 70-odd kilo division, that is very tall indeed.
Warren Elson, so tall, giraffes are attracted to him. Looks for the outside thigh kick, chips the low kick from Foley, who moves in. Not where Greg Foley wants to be, you feel. Not on the inside, and locked in a grapple with Warren Elson, former world's Muay Thai champion.
And you can see Elson, he's got his forearms right over the collarbone of Foley, and just he's able to drop his weight down onto the collarbone, get the clinch down nice and tight, and that's going to make Foley's job oh so hard.
All tied up again. It really does concern me that Greg Foley seems content to want to lock on and grapple with Elson, whereas I feel that Foley would be better to try and get this one at range and make it into more of a kickboxing contest, Hammer.
It's very hard. Once Elson gets the claws locked around the head, it's hard for Foley to be able to negate that. I don't think he's got the skills, the grappling skills of Warren, and Warren's just going to lock him down, keep the hips back and start to work the knee strikes.
Warren with a takedown. The thing is, Hammer, I see Foley as being much quicker on his feet than Warren Elson, but he's looking very flat-footed in centre ring so far, is the pretty boy Greg Foley.
He wants to be working at range, just skipping off on angles, firing from the outside. He's got some good hands on him. He punches hard. He's got a very fast right hand, very straight punching, and of course he fires the low kicks nice and quick too. But in this sort of situation, he's going to have no opportunity to showcase those skills.
Once Warren Elson puts you in the grapple, it's like being entangled in a spider's web. It is not where Greg Foley wants to be. This is where he wants to be, at range. Firing leg kicks, firing front kicks and round kicks and boxing. But again, he moves in, Elson ties him up, and Mark Pease keeping it nice and clean. Little popping uppercut by Foley, turns his back, crossing elbow! Very dangerous to the back of the head there. Warren Elson doing Greg Foley no favours. Into the first round, all one-way traffic, and it points in the direction of Wazza.
Yeah, more work rate. That body, I reckon it hurt him too, but you just stopped at that one shot. Yeah, I'm worried about the elbows now. I've got to think, we've got to do this, man, this is it. Yeah. Push kick's good, see? Creating space is good. Yeah. After you push kick him, fuck off. Fuck off, don't go back in there. Yeah? Just know where you are and know where to take him. Yeah? The turn, he doesn't expect you to grapple, do you? You know what I mean? That's right.
Well, instructions coming from Jason Lappin, the Foley. The Foley, interestingly saying, is a little bit worried about the elbows. So in this sort of a battle, he's going to have to really keep his guard up and just keep it nice and tight, especially when he's in elbowing range.
Second round, first round, a 10-9er to Warren Elson, no doubt about it. With every way you cut this pie, and Greg Foley needs to get a move on with things. Outside thigh kick from Elson, doubles up on it off the rear leg. Foley goes high. Foley trying to tee off with his hands, and once again, Elson just lumbers in, locks him up, knees to the midsection. Downward elbow to the collarbone. Foley goes for an overhand elbow of his own, looking for that Van Gogh technique, trying to take his ear off. Doesn't work, however. Got to respect Greg Foley here. His willingness to try and trade the elbows with a Muay Thai master, the likes of the former world champion Warren Elson. You just feel it is the wrong game plan for the pretty boy.
He's locking down. When he's getting in the clinch situation now, Foley, good to see him just locking down, and they're going for the break. I think that's clever tactics on his behalf. But he's really going to have to be very crisp with his technique, because if he stands in front of Warren, he's just going to get locked up and kneed upon.
Foley has been cut on the hairline here. The downward elbow has cut him. Moves into a teep kick again. They lock up. This is dangerous territory for Greg Foley. The blood now streaming down his forehead. He has been cut open by the downward elbow of Warren Elson. And Elson, it'll be like waving a red curtain in front of a charging bull. You just know that the relentless Elson is going to attack and try and open that cut even further. Schnoggin knocker, smack bang on the kisser.
Well, Elson has such long arms and long legs. You know, he could really showcase his long punching and his long kicking. But he always opts rather to get in the clinch. He's very comfortable in the clinch. And geez, you'd have to wonder if Elson drew Jason Sherry in this bout with the big height and reach advantage. It would have been, it would have been interesting.
Long-reaching jab, full extension there from Foley. Still couldn't get past the forearms though, and Elson again ties him up. Almost folds him in half like origami with the knees to the midsection. It has been Warren Elson's round again as he hunts after that cut. Foley momentarily tangled through the ropes. Kick from Foley on the back foot though. Wild uppercut. Went so high I heard organs playing. Knees from Elson, nothing really connecting though, just forces Foley back into his blue corner. Jason Lappin is about to burst a blood vessel. Fair dinkum Henry is shouting that many instructions at his charge, Greg Foley.
Well, he really wants his boy to do well, Lapo, but Foley in all sorts of trouble. But nice turning elbow.
See that? Greg Foley,
nice
spinning back elbow.
Beautiful turning elbow from Foley. That's going to give him a bit of confidence.
Into the second round. A very good way to finish the round for Foley, but certainly not enough to win it on our scorecards, and I'm sure on the judges' scorecards. Let's listen to Waz's corner.
Just get your timing right, step up that big knee. He's holding you up. If you've got him locked in the grapple, knee him in the back of the legs or in the legs. Don't just sit there and try to lock onto it. Come on, Waz, you've got to work hard this round. You've got to beat this boy this round. Come on. How do you feel? Good? Feel good? Come on. Making it hard for yourself. Come on.
Well, again, Foley trying to throw the big bombs and get that one shot that will be the finisher, not coming for him. Instead, it is the very tall and rangy Warren Elson executing all sorts of damaging technique on the inside. Foley got a little bit of his own back with that turning elbow, but not enough.
Yes, that's it. Believe in yourself, man. Believe in yourself. Biggest deepest you ever have to. Spinning that grapple like that, man. Give him back his own bucks, yeah? Don't put your head down with it. Hit it, you know?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the third and final round.
We are ready to roll third and final round. So far, we have Warren Elson leading this one quite clearly, 2 rounds to zip. Don't forget, folks, if you're surfing the internet, sportsblitz.net, the International Kickboxer Forum, for your chance to win a gold class session with your mates. Check it out at the International Kickboxer Forum on sportsblitz.net, and you can book out an entire gold class cinema for you and your mates.
That's a prize worth $2,500. So imagine yourself and your mates all living it up gold class style. Big thank you to John Jess and Nick Sims from Village Roadshow for their generosity with that competition.
And while you're on the internet, don't forget, if you're on Facebook, add us as a friend, Michael Chavello, Mark Castanini. We are on Facebook, and we keep you up to date with all of our broadcast news from Fox Sports, K1 Broadcast International, and a whole lot more. As Warren Elson again just works the elbows, working the clinch. Now Foley backs him up, and once again, it is Foley looking for the wild uppercut on the inside. And Elson just controlling the tempo in the grapple. I mean, you know, and certainly Elson must know he's got this one in the bag so long as he doesn't do anything silly.
Well, he's just playing the points game, hooking up. He knows that knees score very well indeed. Of course, full Muay Thai rules, your knee and your grappling dominance is looked upon very favourable on the judges' scorecards, and it was all favourable going the way of Warren Elson thus far. Foley really needs a big finisher because the scorecards are not being kind to him today.
Looking for a spinning back fist perhaps there, Foley.
Definitely was. He thought about
There
it.
it is.
There it is.
And close, but didn't work.
He's just looking tired, just from the grappling, the constant stand-up grappling and clinching from Warren has just worn down Foley, and his power base will now be well and truly sapped.
Again, Warren Elson with these, just locks on the grapple, almost turns it into a side headlock there. And Mark B's forced to step in.
Mark B's going to be getting paid bonus points for this one. They're really making it work.
You can see how fatigued Greg Foley is now as Wazza tees off on him.
He kicks through his upper body's through the ropes, and he still manages to throw a kick. Classic stuff.
The beautiful baldness of the Fogarty brothers enjoying that one ringside. As he almost spilt onto the big Fogarty craniums. Nice front kick from Warren Elson. Outside thigh kick from Elson. And again locks him up, breaks him down systematically. Knee to the midsection.
30 seconds to go. Who wants to get
Greg Foley may be a spent force now. Elson has completely owned him. You can sign the pink slips, Hammer. You can sign the ownership papers. It will be Warren Elson going through to the final against Eli Mad Dog Madigan in what will be a marquee matchup.
Well, I'll tell you what, and Warren Elson, as he said, he's been off the circuit for a while, but he's back and they're doing what he does best, which is that in-close clinching and grappling. The knee strikes working well for him. And poor old Greg Foley has certainly been in the war. We're used to seeing Foley fight clean at range, move around, but it's just the wear-down tactics of Warren Elson. And those big knees that are fully taking the wind out of Greg Foley's sails in this one. Once again, Warren just walking forward, had half the clinch on, locking down, knees underneath. Foley just trying to fight him off, but it was all in vain as the very strong Warren Elson was firing from all angles and even through the ropes against the more kickboxing style of Greg Foley.
Sportsmanship being displayed there between Elson and Foley. Foley looks a little disappointed with himself. We're certainly not disappointed in her. And David Allen now will have the official decision.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecard for the first time tonight here at Evolution 15. Making his way one step closer to being on the Contender Series 2. One step closer to $300,000. Warren Elson.
It didn't have to be Sherlock Holmes. He didn't even have to be Watson to work that one out. Warren Elson by unanimous decision. And the Hammer earlier on spoke with Soren Monkyongta.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for our two guys